After the Kingpin almost kills his own son and Daredevil and Elektra rush to save him, Fisk quickly grabs Elektra by the throat, already throwing her unconscious to the ground, and Daredevil is forced to try to keep fighting on his own, only for him to soon realize that Fisk was for some reason much stronger than usual, revealing that he was possessed by the demon of greed. The Kingpin and Matt then keep fighting for a while, but after Daredevil eventually manages to expel the greed demon from Fisk's body, the Kingpin even thanks Daredevil on his knees for having freed him, but Matt is not actually excited about it, saying that the rest of the demons of the 7 deadly sins should still be on the loose. The following day, Daredevil goes out in the morning to buy a television, but after She-Hulk suddenly shows up at the store out of nowhere, she drags Matt into a date against his will. Jennifer takes Daredevil to a fancy restaurant and ends up ordering practically the entire menu for the two of them to eat, going so far as to shove food down Matt's throat. And after they eventually finish every single dish, She-Hulk takes Daredevil to another restaurant saying they served excellent Japanese food, and Matt is once again forced to stuff himself with several bowls of food. However, as soon as the two of them finish arriving back and Daredevil tries to talk about the case he was investigating, She-Hulk answers that she was not going to discuss anything before dessert, and once again drags Matt off to eat, ending up at an ice cream shop that was actually barricaded by police blocking the entrance. But after one of the officers recognizes She-Hulk and asks for help dealing with an intruder inside the store, She-Hulk suddenly snaps out of nowhere and starts attacking the police, saying she was only there for dessert, making Daredevil finally realize that Jennifer was possessed by the demon of gluttony. Matt then quickly puts on an improvised uniform to face She-Hulk, and despite him having a certain difficulty fighting because he is completely stuffed with food, he eventually manages to expel the demon from her body as well, and begins to wonder which other heroes might also be possessed. The following day, Daredevil walks into a local bar, and after finding Wolverine standing in the middle of a group of dead people inside, Matt immediately realizes that Logan must be possessed, and thinks to himself that the demon of wrath could not have chosen a better host. Wolverine then charges at Matt, and after the two of them engage in a long battle in which Wolverine never stops smiling for even a single second, Matt ends up being thrown out of the bar, extremely injured, and the pair continues their fight on top of a garbage truck, all while the civilians nearby recorded everything to post on the internet. However, as soon as Matt pins Logan in a chokehold, Wolverine is forced to leap out of the truck. Daredevil notices that his white suit was already nearly as red as blood from how much he was losing, and begins to lose hope seeing that Logan was no longer even injured thanks to his regeneration. But after Logan suddenly reveals that he was actually not possessed by the demon of wrath, but rather by the demon of lust, Matt understands that their lust for violence would end up prolonging that fight forever, and decides to simply grab Logan and leap with him into the ocean, ultimately managing to renounce the lust for violence and finally expel the demon from Wolverine's body, now helping him swim back up to the surface, which is when the two of them soon head back to Kelly and Barbara to rest and share a few drinks.